Yesterday, news broke when the Southport murderer was charged under the Terrorism Act, with allegations that Keir Starmer and Yvette were fully aware of the situation, but deliberately manipulated public opinion through their inexplicable silence. Despite the Conservative Party and the Reform Party continuously calling for Starmer to speak out, during today's PMQs, he once again evaded questions as usual, turning himself into a laughingstock by cowardly dodging the issue. Let's dissect each of Starmer's words, examine the reactions surrounding the questioning session, and update you on the hottest news from across the country. But first, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any important political news.
The government's own independent reviewer of terrorism legislation, Jonathan Hall KC, has said repeatedly recently that it is important in incidents of terrorism that the authorities put out more information sooner in order to prevent an information gap. Does the Prime Minister agree?
For the very reasons that you yourself set out at the beginning of this session, I think it's very important, first and foremost, that in all cases, including the particularly difficult case that the Speaker mentioned earlier,
I wish to remind the House that the following horrendous, terrible incident in Southport on the 29th of July, a suspect is awaiting trial, having been charged with multiple offences. That means the House Sub Judice resolution is engaged and references should not be made to the case. I know that all honourable members wish to see justice done in this case.
As announced prior to the PMQs, the Speaker would halt questions related to Southport. But Tice cleverly managed to sidestep this to ask Starmer about his alleged involvement in the oversight of Richard T. That was the entire opening speech of PMQ. What do you think about Starmer's ambiguous responses? Please leave a comment so we can discuss. Now, let's move on to other notable news from the UK. Citizens are receiving serious warnings about significant changes to driving laws that are set to take effect, which are expected to have a strong impact on the lives of those participating in traffic. This November, a series of new regulations regarding public charging fees for electric vehicles, EVs, are likely to dominate all discussions, alongside what is considered one of the most important elections in modern American history. The British Stand has just compiled a list of the major adjustments that could affect the finances and rights of British citizens. Notably, this afternoon, Rachel Reeves will officially announce the Labour Party's first budget. People are looking forward to the significant changes that this budget will bring, which are expected to have a far-reaching impact on millions of drivers across England. According to experts, the Prime Minister is likely to target fuel taxes as a solution to the enormous budget deficit of £22 billion, which could mean that petrol and diesel prices will increase by at least 5 pence per litre. Previously, former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announced a 5 pence per litre fuel cut in March 2022 to respond to the tensions following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This policy has been extended twice but will expire in March next year, and it is highly likely that consumers will face significantly higher prices when the extension ends. In addition, new regulations regarding car tax may also be included in the autumn budget. The government might consider options to compensate for the declining revenue from fuel taxes as people transition to electric vehicles. There have been many proposals suggesting that the government should implement a pay-per-mile system to address this issue. Furthermore, Chancellor Rachel Reeves is likely to propose an increase in car insurance premiums, boost investment for repairing potholes on roads, and also push for additional funding for public EV charging infrastructure. This morning on X, Prime Minister Keir Starmer proudly declared that this is a historic day for Britain. He promised that after 14 years of economic decline, the government would invest in rebuilding the country's education, healthcare and transport systems. Notably, he asserted that he would not shy away from making tough decisions to grow the economy and protect workers' financial interests. It almost seems as if the British public is being treated to an idealistic speech that few genuinely believe will come to fruition. Meanwhile, the guidelines for public EV charging stations, announced by the government last year to ensure greater reliability for citizens, have now been extended for another year. The regulations require new charging points to have a minimum power output of 8 kilowatts. and existing charging points must reach at least 50 kilowatts, with all being required to have contactless payment capabilities. Rapid chargers must also achieve a 99% reliability rate, averaged across the charging networks operated by providers. Across the Atlantic on the 5th of November, American voters will head to the polls for the presidential election. Democratic Vice President Kamala Harris will face off against former Republican President Donald Trump. Trump has not hesitated to express his dislike for electric vehicles, despite his close relationship with Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Additionally, Vice President J.D. Vance has called for the elimination of the $100 billion, approximately £77 billion, subsidy for electric vehicles, proposing instead to enhance support for gasoline and diesel vehicles made in America. In contrast, Kamala Harris and her projected Vice President Tim Walz may implement policies that support American workers and impose heavy taxes on electric vehicles imported from China. Another piece of news that has caught public attention is regarding Prince Harry. The Prince continues to stir controversy as he prepares to reissue his shocking memoir, Spare. This book previously caused a stir by attacking several royal family members and deepening the rift with his brother William. Now, the book is being released in paperback format, but does not include any new details, despite rumours that Harry might add 400 pages of bombshell allegations. In an interview, royal historian and commentator Richard Fitzwilliams expressed relief at Harry's decision, particularly given signs that he is drifting away from his wife, Meghan Markle. Fitzwilliams candidly noted that whenever Harry and Meghan choose to operate independently, the public is left curious about where this will lead. Harry now seems to be building a career on his own, without the Duchess by his side, raising many questions about his next direction. The rift between Harry and William has also drawn interest, as William publicly mentioned Harry for the first time in years. In a new ITV documentary, William recounted his volunteer trips with their mother, Princess Diana, and Harry to visit homeless shelters. William stated that this experience had a profound impact on his life and current social work, particularly in efforts to reduce homelessness. He recalled how those moments spent together with their mother instilled in them a deep sense of empathy and a commitment to serve others. William expressed a yearning to rekindle that sense of brotherhood, emphasising that their shared experiences could be a foundation for collaboration in their charitable endeavours. The documentary also shed light on the emotional toll that public scrutiny has had on both brothers. William acknowledged the complexity of their relationship, stating that while they may have diverged in their paths, the core values instilled by Diana remain central to their identities. He highlighted that addressing societal issues, such as homelessness, should transcend personal differences, calling for a united approach to honour their mother's legacy. As the conversation progressed, William hinted at the possibility of future conversations with Harry, suggesting that a willingness to understand each other's perspectives might help bridge the gap. He expressed hope that, despite their challenges, they could come together for the greater good, ultimately striving to make a meaningful impact in the world. In doing so, they would not only pay tribute to Diana, but also remind themselves of the bond that once defined their relationship. What are people's thoughts on the issues we have discussed in today's video? Please share your views in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest information regarding the political situation in the UK. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next videos.